Welcome to Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Joyous conversations about what the afterlife evidence and modern science combine to tell us is true about our one reality. You have nothing to fear. You are eternal and you are perfectly loved. Knowing the truth changes everything. Now, here's Roberta.
Welcome to Seek Reality. I'm Roberta Grimes, and I'm so glad you're with us today. Some 30 years ago, when I first was coming to realize that consciousness is, in fact, the base creative force, I did quite a bit of research in an effort to better understand consciousness. And it was then that I came across Qigong, which is a use of the mind that goes back in China for 5,000 years. And I was blown away by it. Qigong looked to me to be the ultimate use of our minds. I've watched videos of Chinese practitioners performing surgery using Qigong alone. And ever since I first discovered it, I've wanted to know more about it. But it's first today that we will have the chance to talk with a real Qigong master. Master Mingtong grew up in rural China during the Cultural Revolution. Wow, that's a great start. He became the first from his village to attend college, where he earned a bachelor's degree in math, and then he earned 2 master's degrees. When he was a graduate student in art in the United States, he discovered the treasures of his own culture, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, and then, of course, Qigong. In 1997, Master Mingtong returned to China for Qigong training under Grandmaster Dr. Pang Ming, who is a Qigong Grandmaster. And he also is trained in Western medicine, so he really knows it all. He founded the world's largest Qigong hospital in China. And during his training there, Master Mingtong observed thousands of cases of chronic and incurable diseases being healed at that medicineless Qigong Hospital, which has treated more than 200,000 patients with more than 185 different illnesses with a 95% effective improvement rate. Wow. Master Mingtong later founded the Qi Center just outside of Santa Fe, New Mexico, to bring wisdom healing Qigong to people in the United States, but also in China, Europe, and elsewhere through his retreats, workshops, books, and online and educational programs. So he has been a very, very busy man, and I really can't wait to learn a lot more. Welcome, Master Mingtong. It's really good to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Roberta. So delighted to be with you, share with all the community.
Now, tell us just a little bit about how you got to this place.
I was not born with Qigong, and I didn't know anything about Tai Chi, Qigong, this esoteric practice, which has, again, long history in China. And so I grew up as a normal kid and pretty hardship in childhood, and I studied very hard. And then went to college without knowing, ended up coming to U.S. to study mathematics. Then eventually I discovered fine arts. And then in the graduate school, I discovered Qigong. So in the very beginning, intuitively, I felt this is really important, really profound, really meaningful. And then I began to practice very seriously. So actually I discovered this form of Qigong through a friend in Columbus, Ohio. She was teaching both Tai Chi and this form of Qigong. And she was born here. She didn't speak Chinese. She basically is white and a woman here. But she discovered this, in her life. So she gave me a Chinese book, asked me to help her to translate. So I read the book, and I was really shocked how profound that is. And so my impression is that book really answered so many deeper questions. And I was asking myself, trying to discover answer in my ways, and slow even different spiritual traditions, slow art, slow self-inquiry, slow meditation, so on. But also what I love about it is, and Dr. Peng Ming, Grandmaster Peng Ming, is really have a profound experience of learning from so many different teachers and more than 30 years, and also as a doctor, as a martial artist, as a scientist as well. So the combination of his background allowed him to really put in the system of wisdom healing Qigong, which is called Zhiren Qigong in China, in a way that not only accessible for modern, civilization, modern culture, but really evidence-based. And he wants to see the result, evidence-based. And he wants to really continuously, let's say, embody this ancient wisdom, has long history, beyond just antidotes, bring the benefit to, large population. So on the other hand, without losing the spiritual depths of it. So he was able to really share the information, the teaching, the practice from all the perspectives, including quantum physics, including medicine, including the ancient, meditation tradition of enlightenment. So that really touched me deeply. I feel like, I can, bring my own quest, I had from different direction to one place now. And so I began to really dedicate very quickly. It took me 2 years to heal my own condition of sclerosis and also asthma. And then I became, of course, more dedicated and spent more time in the Medicine Qigong Hospital in China, eventually, and spent almost 2 years in the center to finish my master training program, then came back, started to teach full-time, and that's what's happening last 20 years. That's my short story.
Wow. Well, I love how devoted you are to this, but I am not surprised because I thought it was just amazing when I studied it, decades ago. No idea how it could work, but I'm eager to find out. Now, what is Qigong? How would you summarize what it is, even the plain vanilla version, before we get to wisdom healing?
I'll explain a way that everybody can relate to, even everybody can say, I can do this too.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
First of all, Qi means life energy, means energy of all creation, all existence, all life function. And every existence made of energy, all function of existence is animated by energy. So first, the most important for human being is this body is made of energy. And all experience in relationship, in interaction, in everything, basically, is really expression of energy exchange. That is the recognition. But beyond the recognition is how to cultivating the energy. So on one hand, this wisdom tradition recognizing human being, as you mentioned, has the most powerful quality, the gift is consciousness, the mind. So this consciousness has capacity to interact with the energy, not only the energy inside of you, but also the energy of the universe. Not only have the capacity to be aware of energy, but the capacity of connecting and initiating, even co-creating, physicalizing, from the subtle energy realm to the physical dimension. So that is the powerful wisdom, powerful skill. And there's the science behind that, almost like a technology, it's step by step, how you can do that effectively, how you can tap into the pure source energy of the universe, which is infinitely available, present.
We who have studied what consciousness is would assume that what you're doing is something that is probably possible, and indeed you're saying yes, it is. I read your book, and I loved reading about your healing yourself. It sort of kind of happened as you were doing the practices that he was recommending. How long did it take? You had asthma that was fairly crippling, and you also had scoliosis, which was quite painful. How long did it take before those started to heal?
Yeah, it took me 2 years to heal completely from asthma, and 3 years to heal completely from sclerosis.
Now, were you
And that
concentrating
was
on
my
them?
time.
You were thinking, I want to get rid of my asthma as you were doing this? And then
No.
it was just
So that's
really?
the beauty of this is I was skeptical. You know, I connected with this tradition, this practice, this teaching more for intellectual, spiritual reason. I had no expectation, hope to hear from this condition was diagnosed as incurable, chronic condition.
Yeah, right.
So when I went to China, and in the beginning, I was shocked to hear all these stories, you know, so many every day, how these people are able to heal from this incurable chronic condition, you know, the whole big list of incurable condition. And in the beginning, I was skeptical, and then people really, you know, share with me the evidence, the medical tests beforehand, afterwards, you know, all kind of ultrasound, blood tests, and so on.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is real. This is amazing. So
it is amazing.
Begin open to this possibility.
Now, you can even heal things like cancer.
Well, really, it doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. So that's why I want to talk about. It's like how this Qigong works. Then you can understand why the system, you know, same practice can address all health issue. Doesn't matter what is the diagnosis, what is the story, what is our past, what is the immediate cause of the issue or symptoms. We often spend so much time analyze, but when we do this practice, we can address all the issue because we're addressing the deeper cause, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, personal, even collective. And whatever you're experiencing right now is the result of your past, right?
Okay, so that's very interesting. Your past has caused the damage, and you even, I think, found some of the reasons why you had, from a prior lifetime or something, why you had some of your own issues?
So our individual story is important, but I'm going to share with you the general story of human. So that's how we can apply this to yourself, to everyone, basically.
Okay.
Right. So it's like whatever function of your health, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, in this moment, how you're experiencing your body, experiencing your life, experiencing health, is really the outcome of everything you have experienced in the past. Are you with me?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So, you know, all your childhood experiences, all different food you eat, all the different environment you have lived, all the stress you have accumulated, all the way of the way your attitude, your belief system, and how you're relating to life, everything basically, including your intergenerational genetic, it's all affecting you right now, this moment.
Wow. And that makes perfect sense.
When I'm pointing out, I was like, everybody, of course it's true, but we don't think about that way.
We don't, because everyone thinks, oh, I have an illness, and then they go to the doctor, and the doctor says, take this chemical.
Exactly. Now
they're doing it the hard way. Then is what you're saying. That's the hard way to do the chemical, right?
So now here is the incredible part of the story. Okay, so on one hand, everything has happened in the past has happened. You cannot change that.
It's true. You can't.
Right? But the impact of everything has happened energetically is inside of you.
Right.
Inside of your body, inside of your energy system. Now, this sounds like you're kind of curious, like what that means. So what that means is, if you can change the energy pattern inside of you, energy function inside of you, then the whole thing will change without worry about what happened in the past.
I remember now. I was reading a couple of books at the same time. When you were 5, you fell into a cesspit or something in China and nearly died, and that was the cause of your asthma, as I recall. Was that right?
Well, that is only when, kind of identifiable cause of this particular condition. But what caused asthma, my dear? I mean, caused me have that accident. Think about these questions. We don't think about that way.
My goodness. Okay. So if someone has cancer, for example, there may have been something in their past that made them, was it stresses in the past or a trauma in the past, perhaps, that kind of thing that could have done it?
These are very common, but beyond that is what is causing trauma?
Yeah.
What is causing stress, my dear?
Okay. Yeah. How far back does this go?
Okay, so be with me, okay? Be patient with me. You're going to get all the answers, okay?
Good.
So you have the access to your energy system. It's your own energy system, my dear.
I got it. All right. That makes a lot
And you
of
have
sense.
access to that more than anyone else, more than any doctors, more than any gurus.
That's right. That's right.
More than your parents, your spouse. That is the most important recognition here.
Okay.
So what we do is instead of searching for cue or searching for answer outside of us, from something else, from someone else, from another drug, from another treatment, we go deeper within, connecting with your own body. Then this process is you discovering the energy inside your body is determining the function of the physical, emotional, even your mental creativity.
Okay. All right.
Ultimately, there's 2 patterns of energy in the body. One is contracted pattern. Energy is stagnant, is not flowing, is disconnected. Another pattern is the energy is awakening, opening, flowing, communicating in wholeness.
Okay.
You can imagine the implication of both. Simple. When the energy is blocked, suppressed, contracted, then all function of physical, emotional, mental, spiritual is compromised.
Okay.
And doesn't matter what is their diagnosis. Doesn't matter what's your story.
You're saying this is great. What do you actually do when you're practicing Qigong? Is it a dance?
Once you understand what I said, then the practice is so simple.
Okay.
Don't understand that, then you're continuously asking, too complicated question or it doesn't really touch in the issue.
Right. But it does seem very simple.
So bear with me, okay? Bear with me, okay?
Your energy, you're not focusing on the illness, you're focusing on rebalancing and perfecting the flow of the qi in your own body.
You're shifting the pattern from contraction to opening.
Yep.
Now, this contraction is being there for a long history in your life. And this contraction now is activate, amplify, intensify by everything happening right now in the world, in pandemic. You know what I mean?
Yes.
In all the crises happening, economical crisis, politics, social, cultural crisis, environmental disasters, all that is happening. You don't know what to do, so your energy body responding as stress, as a result, is contraction. So now all the problems, health issue is worsening,
Right, of course.
Whether it's old issue or new issue, yes?
But whatever is going on, you're saying it's affecting, it's tying up or blocking the flow. And you're saying that doing the practices that are Qigong can release that. Whatever the causes were. Right.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. So what are those practices? Just in general, obviously you can't tell us everything you do, but is it, do you dance? Do you sing? Do you meditate? What is it that you do
Yeah,
that,
good
that
question.
makes it work?
Now we So the tool, the practice is very simple. It involves three kind of practice. Yeah, you basically nailed it already. One is movement practice, but they're not random practice. They're designed to move your shoulder a certain way, moving your arm certain way, moving your spine certain way, moving your hips certain way, moving your entire body certain way, so you can more effectively release the contraction, releasing the stagnation of energy, release the stress, releasing the emotional, contraction in the body. So these key areas, for example, the shoulder, the spine, the hip, is carry stress, carry contraction.
Yes.
And deeply in the muscle, in the nerve system, but also deeply in your 5-organ system, in your brain cell as well. So slow this movement, you're releasing the tension, releasing the stress, but on the other hand, you're promoting the energy to flow. So these two aspects simultaneously happening.
Wow.
So that is one kind of practice. So the movement is gentle, but not random. And the second kind of practice is sound, as you say, sing, but it's not just sing a song. It's a very designed, powerful vibration to activate the energy of your 5-organ system. So when we emotionally stressed, for example, when we're experiencing worry, that means the energy of the digestive system contracted.
Yeah.
And the sound, awakening that energy, allow the energy opening, flowing again, shifting from contraction to openness to flow again. Then suddenly you emotionally feel different, less worry, more confidence. So the fear right now is the most powerful emotional stress. We're experiencing so much fear right now. If you look around all the news, it's really about fear.
Yes, that's been going on for a while too. I think we're all being made sick by it. Oh, that's true.
Right. It's not just happened last 6 months.
Right.
It's happening in the whole humanity, human history.
Right.
Beauty, some important things, we are awakening to this recognition. We are the one carry that fear.
Right.
That fear is programmed in your body, in your energy system, particularly in your kidney energy system, associating your hormone system, your reproductive system, including your sexual energy.
Okay. Wow. All right. So
when that energy contracted, the contracted pattern is programmed by the past. So that means all your whole life story, whole life experience is reinforcing the fear.
Okay.
So the question is, what do you do?
Right.
Are you operating from this fearful pattern continuously every day? Or are you ready, want to change that pattern?
So if someone came to you and said, okay, I have a serious illness, I'm sold, I want to do this. You can do this online, right? You can teach online what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just give you an example. So when the energy of your kidney system contract, we're experiencing freeziness. From there, experiencing fight, flight, this fearful patterns, reinforcing everything in life, even to the point of destruction and violence, And that's what's happening, including compromising health. We have so much, scientific evidence how fear, how stress affecting your health directly. And it's no-brainer. But the question is how you can get rid of the fear. And you cannot get rid of fear by thinking. And you cannot really, trying to running away from the fear neither. So you have to really embracing the energy inside your body, allow this energy to open, slow this practice, particularly sound practice. For example, when we feeling contraction in the low back, in the kidney area system, we make the sound.
Wow. My goodness.
So instead of feel fearful, the power come back.
Wow.
Your whole body feel warming up. Yeah. Your power will come back. This is life force inside of you.
Yes.
Everybody, you have that. But when that life force is conditioned by the fear, then everything is compromised. So when you awaken the energy, allow the energy open again, flowing again, you feel this warmness, you feel this power of life inside circulating the entire body, nourishing all of yourself, including empowering your heart become more open, empowering your brain become more open, more creative.
Okay, so if someone wanted to really do this, how much time per day would they spend once they knew what they were doing?
You're asking these bottom line questions.
Well, yeah, I mean, just the facts here. I'm sold on the concept completely because, as I said, I did study it theoretically, and you're doing exactly what I would have hoped you would do. You're really showing us how it works, so that's fantastic.
The truthful answer, the most truthful answer I can give to you is more you do it, more benefit you can receive. As simple as that.
Makes sense.
Just if you do whatever practice, 10 minutes to even up to 2 hours, if you just do one session, whatever timeline might be, you automatically feel better, feel good, feel more power, more energy, even for more joy, more connection, so on. But that's still isolated experience. Doesn't really sustain you in a deeper level of change your health. But if you practice consistently, then you can change the pattern I'm speaking of.
Yeah.
Wow. Qigong is about change your energy pattern. It's not about the energy, difficult challenge you're experiencing right now. These challenges expression of the deeper pattern. In order to change pattern, you have to repeating a new pattern.
Okay. So if someone did this seriously every day for, half an hour, whatever felt right, and fit that into their lives, you're saying that that's going to make them healthier, regardless of what their problem is.
Absolutely.
I love that. Absolutely. That's exactly what I would hope would happen.
Exactly.
That's so great.
I can even, guarantee that.
I love it. That's terrific. But you also say it makes you emotionally healthier, right?
Yeah, because the energy comes in your entire body, including your heart. So when the energy of your heart opening, naturally you feel more love, more joy, more compassion, more connection of life. Right now we're missing that so much. Yeah, feel
that's
isolated, feel lonely, feel disconnected. So when you're connecting with energy, not only the internal energy inside your body, but the energy field around you, also the energy on the planet Earth, the energy of the universe, then you, no matter where you're at physically, you still feel connected with life energetically. And the bottom line is energy has no boundary, So when we do this practice, especially online, with global community, we'll be doing a lot of online.
Yeah. Nowadays, yes, that's true, and more, right?
Yeah, feel so connected.
So this is, to me, this is exciting because this is just what we would hope would be possible as with a better understanding of the fact that consciousness is the base creative force. This is so terrific. So does it help people then also as they seek to grow spiritually? Because they're getting rid of these distractions to the qi that is flowing more and more freely in their bodies. Does it also help them to grow spiritually too?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the main quality I appreciate and of this kind of teaching practice from my own journey. It's really embracing both practical and spiritual, and deeply connecting, bridging, integrating practical and spiritual. Instead of separating, instead of, black and white.
Yes.
So really embracing, the existence of both physical, non-physical, personal, universal, and visible, invisible, the known and unknown. So that's where the depths of the spiritual growth naturally come. So when you open to this experience, not only more you can heal these problematic energy pattern of isolation, disconnection, and contraction, but also more you feel the connection with life, with the universe, with the oneness, and that's the ultimate process. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Makes perfect sense. I love the fact it's so consistent with what we've learned in other ways. Now, let's talk about how it relates to other Eastern practices that a lot of people are picking up. Yoga, meditation, Tai Chi. How does it relate to these other practices? How does wisdom healing Qigong relate?
So historically, both yoga and Qigong has long history, many thousand years of history. One is from India, one is from China. They're kind of really parallel to each other.
Really?
Yeah, really parallel. So a lot of teaching principle is very, similar. And the practice, the technique, often different. And then in Qigong, the Chinese tradition, there's also many system of Qigong, many form of Qigong. So Tai Chi is really one form of Qigong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is. So Tai Chi become famous because of the martial art.
Yes.
Right. The martial art movie, and often people practice Tai Chi outdoor. And so it's also more movement, more dance-like. So visually, it's more kind of inviting, enticing, so to speak, yeah. And Qigong, I think relatively in general speaking, yeah, is more inward.
Yes.
But Qigong overall, not just movement. As I mentioned, sound healing practice, breathing practice, as well sitting meditation practice, standing meditation practice. So combination of all different method, different technique allow you to access the energy much more effectively, much more directly. So on one hand, Tai Chi has incredible health benefit. Also speaking of energy, but often Tai Chi students, even Tai Chi teacher, after many years of practice, when they discover wisdom healing Qigong, oh my God, I never felt Qi before.
Oh, okay.
Because the approaching we're doing is very different. We don't focus on our balance of the physical body. We don't focus on yin and the yang. We don't focus on the perfection of the form. We don't focus on the martial art, application, so on. We focus on energy.
Yes.
Connection of mind, body, deep awareness, deep consciousness, noticing how the energy is responding to your mind, to your consciousness, how the energy is responding to the way you're moving, the way you're vibrating, the way you're making choice in your life.
I think this is so fascinating because we are, you're right, a fully integrated being. When we're in these bodies, it's not like you're driving your car and then you get out of it when you die.
Exactly.
It's a fully integrated being, and it's constantly interacting within itself. And so the life force within your body is critical to making sure everything else works well.
And also, you say beautifully, unfortunately, the mainstream, including medicine, is continuously, even some spiritual tradition, religion, treating this body just as a vehicle.
That's right.
As
they
a
all
machine.
do. It's not just
you come in, you use it. When you use it up, then you trash it.
Yep.
And that is so problematic.
I just love this. This is great. I want
This
to learn more about this myself.
This way of thinking, even this way of subconscious relationship with the body, even with the spiritual, idea behind it, is really the real deep cause of the biggest problem we're experiencing right now.
Yeah. And there's no effort being made in that direction either. I don't see any movement in traditional medicine.
In this mind-body practice, we start to discover, the deeper truth. This body is more than a machine.
Yep.
And when we speak of energy, you are part of the energy.
Yes.
Energy is not separate from you.
That's right.
Your own mind, your own spirit, your own soul is part of this energy.
Yeah.
Energy is your expression, your essence as well.
Now, if people wanted to get more involved, the first thing to do, I would think, would be to go to your website, right, for the Chi Center,
Yes.
which is CHICENTER.com. And don't drive off the road. We will put that in the program notes. But do you explain there all of this and allow people then to contact you and see if they can work with you, that sort of thing?
Yeah, on the website we have so many options, including free program, including more dedicated practice through online retreat now. And we also, eventually have a personal retreat in Santa Fe when the time's right. And but also, a lot of stories, healing experience from our community, and a lot of free resources available. And also I want to offer another free resource. It's called AncientHealingSecrets.com. AncientHealingSecret.com. It's very easy to remember. AncientHealingSecrets.com, where you can find the downloading of free ebook. Has a lot of information, including and some of we share today, but also a lot more information, including scientific study and the stories and how looking at health in different ways and so on. And then also including free guided practice of movement, sound, and not only addressing the immediate need of immune system function, but also long-term health, long-term energy health. So that is available for all of us. Again, the website is AncientHealingSecrets.com.
So people who begin this practice and are really trying to heal themselves do need to know that it is going to require daily practice, right? It's not something you can just do when the mood strikes, but you need to fit it into your life as a daily practice, right?
That is the goal. So you can experimenting with yourself first. Whatever material you access, what I guided practice you starting with, and then experiencing that first. Then your direct experience will inspire you, what is your next step. And ultimately, the goal is creating a more consistent daily practice. And that's the goal for all people who, open enough, willing enough to explore. So it's a gradual process.
Okay.
Gradual process, yeah.
Well, this is so exciting. I'm so glad to have met you. And I should just note too that we don't have time to talk about it now, but there have been serious studies of how this works, including one at Radboud University. Is that the same place where is that in the Netherlands? Because we know someone who got his PhD there. And that's a very estimable university.
I don't know which one exactly you're speaking of, but I do know.
It's such an odd name. That's why I noticed it.
Yeah,
but
you have many studies.
You have some serious studies, as I saw in your book, that have to do with looking at how this works and why it works and just how successful it's been, which struck me as really terrific.
Yeah, we really, not only take this seriously, this is ancient time tested process. And on one hand, it's really the science of mind and the body, science of energy. On the other hand, it's also it's art. It's a creative process.
Right.
So how you engage in this process is often, greatly determine what's the ultimate result. And at the same time, there's physical way of measuring the result, but the deeper result is spiritual, is energetic.
Yes.
So that's where, get really interesting. And it's in some way beyond measurement, but in some way it's more profound, more important than, just physically with no pain, for example. So deeply, the principle is simple. It's like more energy opening, flowing, than more health. More energy opening, flowing, than more happiness. More energy flowing, opening, connecting, than more spiritual fulfillment, including life fulfillment in any different profession. Because all function, your life, including profession, is based on how your mind is functioning, how your heart is functioning, how your energy is functioning.
Yep, totally. I totally get it. I think it's terrific. Don't you wonder, now we're talking 3000 BC. Don't you wonder how people then discovered this? Because that's when this all began.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely mystery to it. But also according to the written history, the original principle is discovered 5,000 years ago in the Yellow Emperor time. And the different evidence come out of that still kind of mystery, these cave painting, these yin-yang symbols, these bakwa symbols, and originally how this came about. There's different legends, so to speak, but I feel it's the part of a human blueprint.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Yeah. Isn't this amazing, though? I'm so sorry we've come to the end of our time, but you have done a beautiful job of showing us what Qigong is, and I'm so grateful for that because, as I say, it's been in my mind for 30 years. But obviously, this is something, if you feel broken in some way, or if you're less perhaps than you could be, there's almost nothing that this wouldn't help. And the reason we know that's true is that life is the essence of who you are. And if your life force is as you say, restricted, of course things are not going to go as they should. You'll get sick. You will not be happy. But if all of that is liberated and flowing freely, of course it's going to get better. It just makes such sense. I mean, why can't everything be this sensible? Lord.
It's the most simple, direct solution.
It's just beautiful. Thank you so much, sir. I have enjoyed this tremendously. And we'll have to try to do this again because I want to hear more from you about the successes in particular. But everyone, meanwhile, this has been Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes, and I'm really glad you could be with us for this today. Please never forget that you are a powerful, eternal being. You never began and you never will end. And when you really get what that means, it changes everything in your life for the better. Next week, we're going to be talking with Craig Weiler, who will be here to talk about another great White Crow book. This one is called Psi Wars. White Crow Books, as you know, is a wonderful British publisher run by our great friend John Beecher. Craig Weiler is a parapsychology journalist, and he runs a successful business in the daytime. He's a speaker on the science of parapsychology as well. And he has an abiding interest in what he calls the most controversial question of all time, and frankly, it's the same question you and I are investigating here every week. Just what is the nature of reality? He wrote a wonderful book and published it in 2013 that was called Psi Wars, TED, Wikipedia, and the Battle for the Internet. He demonstrates there how science, which we like to think of as like the arbiter of truth, is constantly being manipulated and propagandized in an effort to uphold prejudices and beliefs in the scientific community. We've talked about that here too. This year, he has updated and reissued Sci Wars, and that's, frankly, it's a perfect time. The battle to make sense of reality is really heating up now, and we're right in the middle of it. So we're part of a great movement, and so is he, and he's going to be talking to us more about what this battle is and how we are fighting it every day. So please be here to listen to and enjoy Craig Weiler's new edition of Sci Wars next week. And this week, of course, we've been talking with a Qigong expert, Master Mingtong Gu, and he is in the United States. As you can hear, he's a delightful person and speaks good English, so this is not strange at all. This is actually, we are getting back in touch with what our ancestors knew about so many things, and this is one more of them. But it is a core way for you to free your body, your energy, your life force, your mind from all of the things that have cramped it and damaged it over the lifetime that you've lived, and be free and frankly be happy again. So I just think this is something that everybody probably needs to have a checkup on and learn more about. If it works for you, it'll be transformative for your life. So to learn more, just go to the qicenter.com website, and of course it's in the materials. You'll be able to find it there. As you know, I have a number of nonfiction books out: Liberating Jesus, My Thomas, The Fun of Dying, The Fun of Staying in Touch, The Fun of Growing Forever, The Fun of Living Together, and very soon now, The Fun of Loving Jesus, Embracing the Christianity that Jesus taught, not the Christianity that people are trying to help you want to do today, which frankly is much harder to grow from. If you follow Jesus, it doesn't matter what your religion is. If you just follow what he said, it's amazing how quickly you can grow spiritually. So this actually makes a great combination with Qigong. I think maybe I'm going to see how that works together. If you want to talk about anything at all, my books, some problem in your life, just reach out to me through the green contact block on robertagrimes.com. I answer every email, although it often takes me 3 or 4 days, even sometimes longer, depending on how many come in a given day. But I am eager to help you. So if you need me, I'm here. Meanwhile, this has been Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Please enjoy and please make the most of this coming week in our one reality, knowing that you are a powerful, eternal being, and you, most of all in the universe, you are infinitely loved.
You've been listening to Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Roberta blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. Join us every week as we explore what the afterlife evidence and modern science combine to tell us is true about the one reality we all share. Knowing the truth changes everything.